Okay,
Okay, ask
all right,
Katie.
everybody. You are
Katie,
on
what did you want to tell us again?
I said best you, Team Express Business Zoom.
I wanted to tell you that I had been waiting and just, not really waiting, but I got a call today from Isagenix and they told me that I am legacy member 440.
Nice. Woohoo! Yeah.
Woo!
Uh, can you tell
Yes,
everybody what that means?
Yes.
that means that I have a cumulative earnings of over $1 million
Yes.
in Isagenix. That's what it means.
How
Yes.
beautiful is
Means
Right.
that?
I helped a lot of people, and a lot of people. That's what I love about the way our compensation plan works. Is it's not a one-man show or a one-woman show. It's a team effort, and you don't have to do all the work. You get to work with the people that you love and your family members and friends, and do what you do, and get paid for it.
How cool is that?
Amazing.
Can I
I
ask you,
love you.
are you available next week? You're training next week.
Oh,
Okay, let's go.
Okay. All
Actually,
right,
I'll
Debbie,
be in
take it away.
Cancun. When am I leaving? I'll be back next week though. I'm gonna be back on Monday from
Okay,
Mexico.
perfect.
nice.
Okay, let's go, Debbie.
All right. Let me do the do. Let me mute the mute. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Hey, everybody, you are ISBESTU Team Express Business Zoom. We're here every Monday night at 5:30 p.m. PST. And it is so exciting, that news we just heard. Katie, congratulations one more time, or I don't know, 3,000 more times. I'm just so excited for you to hit legacy number 440. I can remember sitting in the back of our first celebration, holding hands like, we got this, we can do this. Like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing and just lights me up. So congratulations. Hey, Steph, I see you. Oh, I see a lot more people. Hi, Robin. Hi, Claire. I think I got it. Hi, Ken. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited for tonight's training. I was just going to say welcome to our newest. We have a couple new members, Brian D'Astaso and Michael, was it Carducci? Is Michael? Yeah. So welcome to them. And if you guys have any new teammates, get them on. I know that we have a guest, and I'm assuming that's the iPhone. Let's see, where are we going? Is that with you, Cynthia? Do you want to introduce your guest? You'll have to unmute because it just says iPhone. So I don't know your guest name.
Ashley, is that you? I don't even know. Maybe
Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. Hi, Ashley.
oh, look,
That's
she
you.
unmuted. Ashley, is that you?
No, this is Jim Beck. I'm sorry, I'm driving.
Okay. All right. Hi, Jim. Okay. All right.
Hello.
Then we will get right to it. Okay, well, hopefully she'll be on in just a few minutes, and let's get straight to some training. Just one promo I want to go over real fast, you guys, because I think it's so nice. It's beyond nice of all the gifts, the trips, the incentives, the cash that this company being Isagenix, gives us. But I really want to make sure you guys are going to isagenixbusiness.com, going under I started to say resources, promotions, and just look at this one, Crystal Climber bonus, because for every consultant that you make or every consultant that you help get built, you're getting $100 for helping your people, along with you're building your business, you're helping them build their business, and you're getting all that volume flowing up through the team, not just to you, through the whole team. So you're helping everybody. And that's what I really love about our comp plan, is that it's not just one person making money. Everybody's helping everybody get healthy and wealthy if they so choose. And then with the Crystal Manager, they're going to get a $250 bonus, but you're going to get a $125 bonus for helping them hit manager. And then with Crystal Director, they're going to get, what do they get? $750. I'm like, my math in my head. And you're going to get $375. They hit Crystal Executive, they get $1,000, you get $500. And that's not coming out of their pocket. That's Isagenix going, thank you so much for helping people build their business. So you might want to think about just go, 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 because it just helps everybody all around. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that incentive. I think it is such a, I don't want to say blessing. It's just such a inventive way for them to just throw more money at us, because that's what they always do. They want to make sure that we, the field, are always listened to and taken care of. Now, tonight, we get the special honor of having Ms. Ronda Coallier train us. And, you know, I think it was it this last month or is it May that you're now 23 years with Isagenix? Because Isagenix is 23 years old in March. And then Ronda came right after that. And she is actually back when we could call it millionaire number 77 or millionaire number 440. She's actually legacy 77, number 77. And you know, when Jeff and I first came around, it was 2012. We met Rhonda 2013, and she was deemed the Queen of Freedom. And I was like, wow, that sounds pretty cool, Queen of Freedom. And she was traveling all over, everywhere, you know, just to exotic places. I'm like, okay, she really painted the vision for us just by being the Queen of Freedom. And then as the years went on, she self-named herself the Queen of Never Giving Up. And so I think that is so fitting for a lot of us at certain times in our build. Like any business, you might have those wall kicking moments. So I think it's really important to learn and just be that full-bodied business builder. And that's what we get to be by learning from all the different trainers that have been in for all the different seasons. So please take it away, Ms. Ronda Coallier.
Oh my gosh, you are so amazing. I am so excited for Katie. And you guys, I am having Katie on CEO of My Life podcast tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Also, I will put the number in the chat here for you guys. And I would love, Jim, I don't know if you are able to, I know you're driving, so we want you to be safe, but if you're able to unmute your phone for a second and share a little bit, I know you're driving, but your story is so powerful. I know you are just a few pounds away from hitting your goal. Jim Beck, are you able to unmute?
Sure, Rhonda.
All right,
Hello?
let's see if the call will work, because your story is so powerful. And I know that Robin reached out to me and wanted to help you get started. And, you know, at first you were skeptical and then you just started using the products. And I'd love you to share with the team what's been happening for you, because it's been absolutely amazing, and your consistency and your commitment. I'd love you to share.
Sure, I can do that. So that was probably right before Christmas. Robin got me on a call with you, and I wasn't the most receptive. I apologize, but I'm very skeptical. But you know, you and Robin just said put the shakes in you, and that's what I did. You know, once I commit to something, I do it, and I've found some great results. My triglycerides, cholesterol dropped. But the biggest thing for me is, you know, the candy yearnings were gone for the first time in my life. I was raised by wolves, so I kind of ate candy as a child all the way through my adulthood, and had some cancer scares last year, had blood cancer and a few other cancers, and beat those, and just can't tell you enough about how the energy that I feel when I'm working out right now, just top notch. And the experience of getting other people involved, some of my friends, has been rewarding as well, and seeing some really good results in them in their numbers.
You know, thank you. Thank you. Yes, everyone is applauding you. I know that you can't really see that right now, but you know, your story is why I do what I do every day, you know. And Robin, I'm just, you know, what a blessing that you know, thought, okay, let's do this, let's reach out. And Jim was really, you know, willing to listen to you, at least in the beginning, right? And you guys, you know, many of you know that oftentimes, you know, someone has to be really ready to do this, right? And Jim, you were ready, even though, you didn't sound to it, you were absolutely ready. And we're so blessed because our system really does provide such a quick result, right? So thank you, Jim, for taking the time
Hey,
to
Rhonda.
share your story. And, yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Can I just say, I'm so proud of Jim. Jim, when they came to our event, we did an event in Valencia here. They came to the event and we just connected. We message each other, Jim and I, almost every day. And he sends me a picture. I'll show you. This is today. Look, this is today. He sends me a picture every day of him at the gym. Every day it scrolls down. There's pictures of us messaging back and forth at the gym. Every day is committed. So thank you, Jim, for leading by example the way you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Isn't that great? You do that with your mates, right? With your guys that are doing this, and you message each other, and you and Roy and you and Mark, and that's what this community is about, you guys. It really is about, lovingly holding each other accountable. And I am sorry if I keep looking away. I adopted this beautiful dog, a Ghost. Can you believe it? I can't believe it's his name. And he is so smart, and I have been training him, and he is so traumatized. And training a traumatized dog is very different from training a dog. Good boy. It's a lot of redirection. It's a lot of positive reinforcement. And anyway, I have my PhD in dog training right now, especially traumatized dogs. Normally at this time, he would be, just absolutely in his bed, sound asleep. But of course, because I'm training, right? He's just like the child. He's just like the toddler. Good boy, buddy. He's getting it. He's getting it. You just reward the goodness, right? And I think, what I wanted to share with everyone tonight is a couple things. First of all, I really wanted to plug the CEO of My Life podcast that Susan Miller and I are doing. Because when I first started this business, one of the things that I really learned quickly, and also shared with you, Jeff, and you, Debbie, as you guys came on board, and you guys share with everyone as they come on board, is that daily kind of like plugging into something, right? Like recharging our battery. Good boy. Recharging our battery, and whether it's listening to, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind with T. Harv Eker, or some mindset training, some of the great books we have that we listen to about leadership. But CEO of My Life is myself and Susan, and Kara is also on once a week or once a month. We rotate weeks, and we have guests on a lot. That's the goal. And I would love, Roy, I would love you to come on, Robin, Jim, everybody. I want all of you to come on. The thing is, it is 5:30 in the morning your time. If you're on the Pacific Coast, East Coast, it's 8:30 a.m. But if somebody is wanting to come on, please let me know. Jeff got up and did it. I know Debbie's planning on, of course, being on many times. And like I said, we have Katie on tomorrow. And what I find is that having this, like, just even myself, 23 years this month, May 22nd, I believe, Debbie, 23 years this month. When I listen to CEO of My Life, whether it's Susan talking, myself, Debbie's on, Jeff's on, whoever's on as a guest, Kara's on, her team is on. Whenever I listen to it, you guys, I get so fired up. Like, it's such a great way to start your day. Is anyone currently listening to it? Cynthia, you're listening to it? Good. Yes. All right. Fantastic. Shirley, I love it. Would you guys like to just say a word or two about kind of what it's doing for you? Are you finding it helpful, Cynthia, Shirley?
I probably should. Oh, I'm unmuted. Look at that. Okay. Well, yes, it's like waking up with my friends.
Right.
It sets the intention for my day. And in the last 2 or 3 months, it's been bonkers with the other side of my life. So it really kind of what can I fit in today? And I still get the enrollments every week. I still reach out but just you never know that one statement or that one piece of information that you really needed to hear that day. And those of us have been around a little while, you've heard a lot of stuff, but oh yeah, I needed to hear that today. Or, and Susan she talks so fast.
Does she?
I'm like, okay, what did she say? I have to listen to the recording again. And I'm so glad they're recorded, because sometimes I'm unable to be there in the morning and I do get to them later. But I'm one of those people who schedules everything. I'm annoying that way, but I do get back to it. And it's nice to have them at your fingertips on that Podbean. Is it Podbean? What is it called?
Bean pod, yeah. Bean pod, yes.
Yeah, but it really, it's almost like the universe knows what you need to hear before you do.
Yeah, exactly. You always find something, right? They can really, I find that it elevates my energy, right? It elevates I get all fired up. I can't wait to go and do my right? Every day when I listen to that. So thank you. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. And Shirley, how about for you? And Robin, I know you're up at the crack of dawn. You're listening to it. I'd love to hear some of your takeaways.
I'll go. So I listen to it in the morning. I'm actually at work, but I put my earbuds in and I look like I'm working, but I'm really listening. And sometimes if I do get interrupted, someone asks me a question, I don't want to say like, oh, I'm on a call, whatever, because I don't want to know what I'm really doing. But so then I do like that I can listen to the replays, but I do get a lot out of it. Like sometimes like, wow, that's great. And actually Susan's new website that I was watching that, like I'm trying to get through it all. There's a lot on there. So that's very helpful. So.
Yes, I'm going to announce the new website tonight. Thank you for bringing that up, Shirley. It is phenomenal. We've got some great videos on there of testimonials. It's a great prospecting website. It's a great place that you can send people to really learn about the products, the business, the opportunity, the science, everything. It's very, very helpful website. Robin, I know that you're plugging in and I know you're always got some good takeaways from that. It's 5:30 in the morning, your time, I know. But
We
yes.
have a farm, so I'm up at the crack of dawn. We have puppies. I don't get to sleep in. So yeah, we have like a whole horse ranch and farm. So I'm up early having to tend to everybody. So I do listen to the recordings at night, but I have to say I'm, fairly new and learning every day, and boy, it's helping. This week we got 3 enrollment, this past week, 3 enrollments. And I listened to Jeff on CEO of My Life and just really loved the story. And I mean, like the other gal said, you never know. It's like the universe just sort of lines up what you need to hear. I was hiking with a good friend and shared Jeff and Debbie's story with her, and she's really been a skeptic. And, I just shared the whole journey and story. And guess what? At the end of the hike, she said, show me the products, I'm signing up. It just really inspired her and it hit home, and whatever else I shared with her from what I'm learning, it was amazing.
Excuse me, that language that you get, right, from listening to the calls, the stories, we always say facts tell and stories sell, right, in this business. And so thank you so much. Thanks, Robin. I'm glad you're able to listen to it. I thought you were in the morning, but I'm glad you're listening to it in the evening, anytime. So for me, plugging into these type of things, specific trainings about network marketing, specific trainings about our Isagenix business, specific trainings on what you can do in that very day, right, to really launch your business. I think one of my favorites on the podcast was when I had, oh gosh, he was a guest on your call, Debbie, not Mike Mallory, the newer Isagenix,
Ryan Flatt.
Ryan, yes. Oh my gosh, he really trained in such a powerful way on the CEO of My Life. So because it is so specific to our company, our products, our comp plan, and what we have going on, I think that it's one of the best things that you guys could do with your time. And it is only a half an hour, so that's great. And again, if you can't be on live, it is on BeanPod. If you go to I'll put the link in here for you guys before the end of the call tonight. And I really, really encourage you. And it is a great, right, Jeff, like Jeff's story is how Robin, Jeff and Debbie's story is how Robin enrolled her best friend. Good boy. So, you can bring prospects right on to that call and just be like, listen, just plug in and just see, what we're doing, feel it out, get a feel for what we have and what's happening. And I tell you what, for me personally, listening to Susan Miller talk about network marketing, I just get so fired up. So that's CEO of my life. And I find it to be very valuable for me, even 23 years in. And even though I come on there and train, I find that it is so valuable. So tonight, the training I did today on CEO of my life is some of my favorite training. And it is really all about that deep, deep level of inner dialogue, right? I remember when I first started this business, and Kathy Coover said to me, your altitude determines your attitude will determine your altitude. She told me two things that have helped me so much. Your attitude will determine your altitude. Well, I was so excited to know that because I wanted to fly so high, right? My altitude was like rocket ship, right? That was where I wanted to go. And the good news for me, good boy, is that I have a great attitude, right? But even if I didn't, I could always improve my attitude, right? And knowing that deep core level of inner thoughts, inner belief, that the thoughts that maybe you don't share with anyone, right? The thoughts that kind of maybe you even ignore yourself, right? Those thoughts, like it's so vital that we pluck them out. Though any thoughts that have limitation in them, I'm not good enough and I don't know how to recruit and I can't find anyone who wants to do this business. You guys ever think those things, right? You ever have those thoughts going through your head? Yes, thank you, Roy, right? We all have those thoughts at times. And I want you to imagine a garden, right? And I want you to imagine a massive garden with like fruit trees and flowers and all the beautiful things that you want in your life, right? And I want you to imagine that those thoughts are literally weeds, right, in that garden. And they really deplete, the fruit trees can't grow, the flowers can't grow, abundance cannot grow if we're having these inner thoughts. And it's an inside job, you guys. It is every single thing in my outer world came from my inner thoughts, right? And boy, did I have to change those. And so, I just wanted to talk about that again tonight because no matter what we do on the outside, and we have to do we have to make 2 new connections every single day, right? We have to follow up with people. We have to ask for the business, right? I mean, we have to let people know we are open for business. I would love to earn your business, like Jeff says. I want all my friends to feel this good. I want to help all my friends have this much energy. I would really be honored to help you. I'd love to earn your business. That type of stuff. We have to do that. And if we don't do that, we're not going to go very far, right? But here's the other side of this coin. And it's imperative. It's as important, if not more important, than doing the actual do. Because I know many, many people that do the do. Do you know many, many people that do the do? They do the do, and they do the do, and they do the do. They reach out to people. They say, hey, I want to earn your business, da, 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 da. They're signing people up even, right? And maybe, just maybe, they're not growing. And it takes time. So you have to you have to understand your inner self, right? If your inner self is clear, I'm doing this. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care who goes faster than me, right? I don't care how hard it is. I'm doing this. And this is whatever your this is. I don't know what your this is. My this was to pay off my $45,000 in credit card debt. I mean, you know, your this, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, checking in on inside of you for your level of belief. Do you know that if you're afraid to quote unquote sell, people feel that? They feel it. They absolutely feel it. Your energy precedes you. Just so you know. So for me, when I first started in this business, and the first 3 to 5 years, and 10 years in, 15 years in, 20 years in, I have to constantly check in with what I'm holding in terms of my inner beliefs, right? And I have to, like, I remember Alvy posted today in the group. I loved his post, right? It was all about mindset, right? And I have to make sure that I have that mindset of absolute confidence and conviction. You know, I learned this all, you guys, when I was healing my body from an incurable disease. And that was a real serious situation, right? Shh. Good boy. So I learned this all when I was healing my body from an incurable disease. And I had to do the inner work, right? I could take all the vitamins, I could do all the diet, I could do all the, you know, all the work, all the outer work, right? But unless I did that inner work where I absolutely believed 100% that my body was healed, whole, and healthy, end of story. There was no other outcome that I would think about, that I would focus about, that I would talk about, that I would entertain. And this is all before Isagenix, by the way. I healed my body long before Isagenix. Thank goodness, right? It was healing my body that taught me this. It was like, okay, you got it inside. Your beliefs create a resonance. It's where's my book here? My Albert Einstein quote, right? This is so powerful, you guys. It is not woo-woo, okay? It is freaking quantum physics, right? Katie knows. Katie works in quantum physics land like daily, like minute by minute, hour by hour, right? And this is why Katie is our newest Legacy Club member, okay? So the quote is, everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Match the frequency, we'll talk about that in a minute, of the reality that you want. Okay, well, what's your reality that you want? Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. Now, you guys, it goes on to say, it can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is not woo-woo. This is physics. This is quantum physics. And by the way, this quote's by Albert Einstein. I think he knows a few things. What do you think? You know, I went to, what's his name? Doctor, he wrote a book, and Joe Dispenza, thank you. I went to Joe Dispenza's seminar over COVID. I was so lucky. I was so happy because it was in Florida. Florida was open. Anyway, long story. You could never get into Joe Dispenza's seminar. They would sell out like this. And he's doing this research, science-backed research. People come to his seminars. They change the frequency that they are living in. People walk that were in wheelchairs. People were blind. They can see. People were deaf. They can hear. People had stage 4 cancer, sent home to die. Nothing could be done for you. They were cancer free. Story after story after story after story. This is physics. This is quantum physics. And this is your business. Your reality is based on all of your inner beliefs and thoughts right now. A lot of them are unconscious. It's okay. That's okay. The reason why stuff shows up is so that you can change your subconscious thoughts. That's why it shows up. So I get fired up about this stuff, you guys, because this business right here, you can make millions like Katie and Jeff and Debbie, and you could serve millions of people, and it's all going to happen based on your level to do the deep, deep, deep inner work on your belief, your commitment, your grit, your determination, right? I want to open up if anyone has a question, because, you know, learning to do this is the most powerful work you'll ever do in your life, because once you mastering your emotions, mastering your frequency, mastering your mindset, mastering your subconscious, once you master, and it's not about perfection. Debbie and I, like, we studied the gifts of imperfection for years together, right? It's not about perfection. It's just about willing to do the work and stay in the game long enough until willing to be. How do you live in the frequency? How do you live in the frequency of what you want? What is Albert Einstein talking about? Well, you imagine it. Do you know that Top Gun fighter pilots, my friend was a Top Gun fighter pilot and a Top Gun fighter pilot teacher. Do you know what they do? They literally sit in a flippin' chair in a room, not in the cockpit of the fighter pilot, of the fighter plane, of the whatever it's called, the jet plane. They sit in a chair in a room. And over and over and over, they imagine every single step, from getting into that cockpit to all the little buttons they have to push and all the little things they have to do and all the stuff they have to write down and then putting on their thing. I mean, there's probably thousands of processes of flying a fighter jet. Do you know that they practice it in their mind more than they practice it in the air? Do you get that? There's a reason for that. See, your brain has synapses and they're making connections, and your brain is currently making connections and synapses all about your subconscious thoughts and beliefs. And then that creates your feelings. And then that creates your actions. Your feelings create your actions create your results. Do you know that I mean, if Alvy was on here, he would tell you the best athletes in the world, you know what they do? They visualize and see themselves hitting the perfect shot over and over and over. Do you know that I visualized my body healing constantly when I was healing my body? That's all I did. I visualized it. I felt it. I celebrated it every day as if it was already done, because it was. It's just another frequency. It's just another dimension. It's already done. Everything that you want to create here in your business, it's already done. So I want you to imagine it done. And then I want you to imagine what that feels like. What does it feel like to pay off $45,000 in credit card debt? You know, I used to write, I still remember, I had $45,000 in credit card debt. I had no belief in myself at all in this business, none. I had no game. I had no sales background. I had no CEO background. I never ran a business. I pretty much was taken care of my whole life. I'm gonna tell you. And I would do this work every single day, because once I healed my body doing this work, I knew that if I could heal my body, I could heal my bank account. Come on. And you have with you all of us that have done this work and are continuing to do this work, and we're here to do it with you. And you have a compensation plan, and you have a product that is saving lives and changing lives. You just heard Jim. Boy, right? So imagining it and living in the frequency as if it's already done. And I'll tell you another thing. that I found that was really powerful for me was I also was willing to accept. I knew my body was healed and I lived in that frequency. And I also was willing to accept if it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, I wasn't so fixed on one thing. I knew that the highest and greatest and best thing would happen, and it will in your life if you know that and you focus on that. So I want to open up for any questions you guys have. My favorite work on some of this stuff is, if you do want to read some stuff is, but of course, this book right here, this is one of the easiest books on the planet. This is 57 pages. I'll tell you the name of it. The Magic in Asking High Vibrational Questions. What frequency are you focused on? By Bill Mayer. It's 56 pages, and I think he breaks it down easier than any person on the planet. So I would recommend that book to start with. All right. I love you guys, man. The thing is you have everything you need inside of you to make this thing that you want happen. You don't have to go get it. You already are it. What you have to do is plug into that part of you every single day and live in it every single day. Walk in it. Walk through the grocery store as if it's already done. Right? I would practice writing the checks. That's what I would do. Before I even made the money, I would just write the checks and I would just be like, oh, this is how good it feels, paying off my credit card debt. And you know what? A couple years, maybe 3 years into it, I was doing the very thing that I was practicing in my mind. I had to practice it in my mind for 3 years. It took some time. My body healed a lot quicker than my bank account did, but that's okay.
You know, Rhonda, when
Yes.
to share with you guys, we got to meet her. Nicest lady ever. I thought she was a little woo-woo, but I liked her. Yeah, it's like this girl's out.
Right? Totally.
I like her. But she did visualizing things with us, where she'd call us all excited that she just hit this and that. She didn't hit it. And then we realized what was going on, so we would do the same thing. But I realized, because when I first started, I was like Jim a little bit. You know, I was that, guys, what are you doing? Especially the woo-woo part. I was that. But then I realized, after meeting and learning quantum physics, reading that book, putting it in my ear, I put it in my ear because I was like, I couldn't understand it reading it. I had to listen to it. But I realized I've been visualizing my whole life after, but I didn't realize it until I met Rhonda and got around Debbie and them taking me to these events, especially the first part of our events. They were really woo-woo for us. Katie was part of them with us. I was like, whoa, this is a little much for me, you know, but I realized how important it was. And I visualized from a young man how much I had to have at a certain age. And I put it in front of me, put it in front of me, put it in front of me. I visualized about always being around positive energy. And you'll notice when we're at a thing, I still feel negative. You'll notice, where did Jeff go? I leave, because I don't want to be around it. And in fighting, this is where visualization would go. Now, I was a big guy fighting in martial arts and boxing. And so I always got partnered up with the biggest dudes from other places. And people would go, they always got to fight first. And I would sit and they go, Jeff, this guy's unbelievable. Watch me so bad. And I would leave, knowing I got to fight next. Aren't you going to watch him? Nope. I ain't watching nothing, because I'm going to win this thing. I am going to win it. I ain't going to watch him. I'm going to go in and win it. And I would come back with that mindset and I would win. And then I'd watch guys that I couldn't win in my class that were better than me fight them and lose. And I realized, whoa, I'm glad I walked away. Because if I would have let my mind get involved, I would have lost. But I just had that win. I'm gonna win. And so I just I'm sharing that because of what she's saying is so true. It's
Yeah. And you brought that into Isagenix, you know, and for me, I mean, I brought some of that into Isagenix as well because I had just healed my body, right? But I had just started learning this whole inner work and mastering my mindset and my energy and my frequency. And this is such a perfect place to practice that and to play in that and to use all of these principles. And, you know, I mean, my gosh, you guys, I bought $1 million house in Maui right before the real estate crash in 2008. Yeah, they were handing out mortgages. I didn't even have an income, you guys. It was so crazy. Some guy was like, buy a house, and 2 years later, you can make 200 grand. I was like, shit, 200 grand, you know? And I bought the house, and then the real estate market crashed, and I had to sell the house. And it was so intense, you guys. But I used my mindset to sell this house that needed to sell. And it works, you guys. And so this is such a great place to practice it, learn it, practice it, develop it here, stay committed until it's done. So I love you guys. I'm going to wrap because
I need to weigh in though. I have to weigh
please do. Please do. I'm going to put it on mute for a second because my dog's about ready to lose it.
in. So when we first started and going to bliss retreats and learning about the frequencies and how important that is. Roy, do you want to go ahead and go?
Sure.
You sure? Okay. Matching the frequency with what you want, because we can say it every day and people are like, well, then you're dismissing the negative. But see, we can either choose to live in the drama and the negative and the beliefs of I can't be like them, I can't do like them, blah, 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 blah. Like, we really had to dive in at these bliss retreats and learn that that's not what that's all about. It's learning to live in the frequency to be where you want to be and how you can change that. And I'll tell you firsthand with Jeff Beebe, because his family, when we first got married, so much drama on that side of the family. And I used to get so irritated because when they'd come to visit and the drama would start, he was gone. He was gone. He went and got busy. He had to go get gas in the car. He had to go help the neighbor. And I was left to like be in that drama. So it's not something new that he's always been like that. And I also had to learn that I was just as powerful as Jeff, because I used to say this: if I wanted something, all I had to do is get Jeff on board. Because if Jeff wants it, then I'm going to get it. Like, I didn't realize that I could do the same thing that Jeff was doing. I also have a friend that's going to turn 90 in July. And we used to say, because she prays all the time, if you give it to Jeannie to pray about, it's fixed. Like, we can all tap into that. It's not just for special people, the chosen people. Like, it is definitely a thing. I also remember, Katie, maybe you remember this, Susan Sly taking the stage and going, you guys all say you want to do business. And you're like, do business, do business, do business with me, do business with me. Don't do business with me because I'm not believing in it. And like Rhonda started, she said, right? She said that, like, we do that. They feel your presence. They feel your energy before you even pick up the freaking phone. It doesn't have to be in person. And you're actually kind of self-fulfilling. So you really have to, like Jeff and I, if one of us is in a bad mood, you know, it's like, hey, do you need to do some jumping jacks? Tony Robbins. Like, do you need to go outside and scream? Hey, go pet the horse. Like, change that energy vibe before you get on the phone or before you do training or before it is what you want, or you're self-prophesizing. So change it, and you are capable of changing it. And I like that Rhonda gave the example of the book. There's other books, the Happy Pocket Full of Money, like I talked about, I think last week, but you have to guard your state. And you really have to talk to yourself. It's not like something you're going to go, oh, well, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to stay in positive, high energy all day long. No, it's something that we're constantly doing. And then I just want to say one more thing. I've been listening to a podcast. Kelly Ripa is interviewing Disney CEO, Disney president, Bob Iger, whatever his last name. And he said, She said, is there anything that's hands off? Like, is there any dream? Is there any situation when, because he's like a big deal with Disney, like there's some huge projects that have just like blown up. And even Walt Disney probably couldn't have even imagined of what has happened with the Disney empire, right? All under this guy, Bob. And she said, is there anything that's like a no-go? And he said, yeah, the one thing that's a no-go is you can never tell people that that dream is too big. That is not allowed. And I was like, my mind was blown when he said that's why he's so successful and why Disney is so successful. And we all have that in us. So when Rhonda's bringing all this up, it's not woo-woo, it's tried and true. And we can decide, do we want to live in that lower negative energy? Because it's going to affect every aspect of our life. If we get into that lower vibration, it's going to affect it. And we all have the power to step out of it. We do. And there's a lot of times that for some reason we think we need to punish and not step out of it. For some reason we think that we need to cut our own selves or stab our own selves in the back and not step out of it. We all can step out of it. And I just love this training. It's not woo-woo and it will affect your business. So really dive into what she's talking about.
Go ahead, Roy, take it away, and then we'll go ahead and close this thing out.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Rhonda. I honestly feel like you you were speaking directly to me because I've been struggling a little bit lately with my business and some certain things in my life, and it's just been a little bit overwhelming. And as everybody does when we get into I call it my ball of shit. When I get into my ball of shit and I spiral downward, and it all comes on me, and I become my worst enemy. I get out of that vibration of the frequency of where I've got to be. And I learned all this stuff, through my coaching and through college and courses, and everything is energy. And I also have to thank Jeff and Debbie. You guys have been so amazing and supportive, and just, the things that I think in my head about how like I told Jeff today, I said, I'm sorry, I've been struggling. I didn't hit Crystal Director like I wanted to. And, he's like, it ain't about that. Don't ever think about that. It's just about, we love you. We're happy you're here. We're happy you're healthy. We'll just keep plugging away, and we'll just keep moving on, and we'll get there eventually. And, just keeping that reality check, because I know that I am my worst enemy. When my shit ball starts to build, I get into that negative loop and that negative spiral, and it takes me away from understanding all the knowledge that I have sitting in my freaking library here from college courses and courses that I've studied. It gets me into that bad mindset where it just blocks off all that energy. So thank you so much, especially Jeff and Debbie and Rhonda, for bringing that back to attention and helping me get my mindset right. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And I just want to say, guys, if you haven't seen, I told him today, because he shared with what he said with me. I told him today, listen, it's unconditional love here. We're here to support you. And if you make it to, you don't hit the certain thing, it's not a big thing. Come on. We all here have done it, and I say even for me, I'm a blaster, go get it. And last week was hard on me. I only got one enrollment in 2 weeks, and I got another one now. So it was like, oh my God, for me, it was like devastating, but it's the same sort of thing. But I told Roy, and if you haven't seen it, he did a Valentine's picture. Remember, he's lost, like Katie's lost 130 something pounds, and he did a Valentine's picture of the family.
Mother's Day.
He's sitting there, and I told him today, I said, listen, this is your $1 million paycheck right here. Look at your body. Look at you out of everybody in that picture. You look amazing. It's like Katie, unbelievable, man. This woman, she's beautiful before. We've known her since the beginning, but she has just blossomed, and now look what she's announcing. So anyways, it's all good. Everything's good. Thank you, Rhonda, for this training. Thank you for all of you guys. And the biggest congratulations tonight is Pip and Katie. Katie flipping millionaires number 440. How cool is that?
Yeah, you guys got my original number, but
How
it's,
cool is
I'll
that?
take it. I love the 440.
And we just appreciate it. We're gonna listen, guys. Not only you guys get on, but get everybody, your teammates on, new people, product users, business builders, because Katie can bring it. You know, she has so much knowledge, and you know, she's a joy to be around. Honestly, a joy to be around. And Debbie and I just appreciate it. We got to see the whole journey. She got to see our whole journey. You know, because you came in 2013.
November 2012.
Yeah, so right out, we came in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to see each other's whole journey. So it's just the community we got here, guys. Don't ever let that go. And you get to take us out on the count of 3. So make sure everybody brings their people back, because she's gonna be training next week. And she'll bring whatever she brings.
Everybody on mute.
Everybody on mute. So you to count to 3 and then scream Isagenix, Katie.
Oh, me.
You're on.
1, 2, 3.
Isagenix!
Woo!
Congratulations, Katie!
Congratulations, Katie.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much.
Fantastic
Thank
job.
you. It's
Thank you.
exciting.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night,
Phenomenal.
guys.
Mwah.
Amazing.
Let's go get it.
Bye.
See you guys.